Oh, shit. Here we go again.
Quarterback, he went to Washington, drafted by the Green Bay Packers in the 5th round, the 1993 NFL Draft. He started in Green Bay. He was only there for one season. He did not start any games. 1995, he ended up in Jacksonville. He was there for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years. Then went to Washington for 1, 2, 3 years. New Orleans for 2 years. And then last 2 years ended up in the New York Jets. His last season was 2011. He had 3 Pro Bowl appearances with Jacksonville. He was an All-Pro in 2005 with Washington and Comeback Player of the Year, 3rd place in 2006.
I'm pretty sure I know this one.
And gentlemen, welcome back to yet another episode of Real Conversations with Cozy and Murph. We got game 2 of the NBA Finals kicking off. Celtics leading 1-0. It is a long week, off week we had for us, both of us, kind of getting into the ins and outs of our new work life and figuring things out. Like we said in the past episodes, we didn't know where our schedule was going to take us, where life was going to take us, but we're here giving you guys as much content as we can. Murph, check in. How you doing, brother?
Good. I'm just tired. Like you said, getting used to this new schedule. But yeah, I mean, I'm liking it. The job's not hard. I'm learning a lot, and yeah, I mean, it's a change of pace for sure, but definitely the right move though. I made the right decision. Yeah. So, I'm kind of coming into the real, at first I was kind of nervous because, I quit my job with nothing lined up, nobody does that. It's just like a leap of faith type deal. I just had to jump off the ship and find a new one to get on. So, like I said, I feel confident in my decision now. It was a little shaky there for a little bit, but I found a good job that I actually enjoy and can provide for my family, So,
yeah, you weathered the storm, bro. Be proud of yourself. It's definitely some nervousness. Obviously, we both did the kind of the thing where we just jump ship. It was like we have no idea if we know how to swim or anything at all, and we were like, "Shit, what are we doing?" But I'm proud of you. Take the moment to say that. Opposing news for me: I cut all my hair off.
Did you?
Yeah.
You got the fade?
Yeah, I did it myself earlier today.
Oh shit!
Dude, it's just something about running around Roadhouse again, and it's just sweating and fucking my hair's like I'm carrying trays or whatever, and I can just feel the hair on the back of my head like touching food. I can't fucking do it. I can't.
Yeah.
Do it, it's been good.
You're a better man than me because I wouldn't cut my hair for that shit.
It took multiple days of like actually talking it through,
like contemplation.
Yeah, I was like, am I really gonna do this? Because I've been telling myself I'm gonna grow it out for so long, but got it done, got it over with.
I will admit there are some things I do miss about having short hair, like just being able to just get up and go, and not worrying about having to wash it or put it up in a ponytail or whatever. Like that's so convenient to not have to worry about that. But I don't know, man. I've grown attached to it for whatever reason. It's like, man, I feel like what's that dude in the Bible, Samson?
Yeah,
where he's got all the strength, and then his wife cuts his hair in the middle of the night, and he loses all of his strength. So,
well, it looks good on you. That's how I have known you since the day that I met you. You've had more hair than many other men, and I've always so this is off. We're going down a path, but I've always wanted the like let your hair out, fucking like flow, and I can never get past like it right here because it's something I don't know.
You get like because I haven't got a haircut. I've got it trimmed and stuff, but I haven't got an actual haircut since 2019. So it's been a solid like 5 years. And there it gets to a point where it's like the in-between stage is like awkward. Yeah. And like I had plenty of times whenever I was like, man, I'm just going to cut this shit because I'm tired of it because it looks goofy. But then once it gets past a certain length, it's like, damn, I'm glad I waited it out,
I regret it I do the same thing every time. Like I'll grow it out, it'll get there, and then I'm like, fuck it, I'll cut it. And then as soon as I cut it, I'm like, you're such a fucking pussy, bro.
Yeah.
Why did I do that? Why did I do that? Happens every time, but it is what it is. I feel good. I feel like I can. I don't know. I feel cleaned up. I don't feel as. I don't feel as. I don't even know the right word, but I feel cleaned up. That's the best way to put it. I know people aren't here to listen to us talk about fucking haircuts and bullshit, and we have updates. Game 1 obviously went the way of the Celtics. Celtics looked really good, shut down everything that the Mavs were pushing.
It looked really good.
Really good. Jaylen Brown has been balling out. Obviously, he was Eastern Conference Finals MVP, and he carried it into Game 1, looking probably the best he's ever looked in his career. For all the hate that man has gotten playing Robin to Jason Tatum's Batman, I mean, boy has been showing out. He's playing like, how would I say? He's playing like he's the superstar. In the words of Jason Kidd said, he's the best player on his team. And I know I brought this up to you prior to the show, but do you think he's the best player on that team, or is it Jason Tatum?
I think it's hard to say, really. I think they're both top 8 players in the league. I mean, it really just depends, on who's feeling it that night and who's kind of, not feeling it. And I mean, God forbid they both have a good night. Yeah. And I mean, the Celtics are pretty much, unbeatable if they're both on a nightly basis. So I mean, it's good for the Celtics. It's a great problem to have. Yeah. If you are the Celtics, it's like, damn, we've got 2 guys that could go for 40 any night of the week, So, I mean, there's always going to be the media that wants to stir up, drive a narrative, and they want to, kind of sow division in a locker room. And I mean, that's to be expected, but I feel like that Celtics team, they've been together long enough. They've got enough maturity, enough experience that type of conversation doesn't even fucking matter.
Yeah. I tend to agree. I'm obviously a headline chaser.
Yeah. I mean, on any given night, Jaylen could be the best player on the court, or Tatum could be the best player on the court, so
I guess in retrospect to, kind of the Celtics and, their two-headed monster that they have. What do you think the Mavericks got to do? Because it seemed like Luka could go out and get 50, but they were just shutting down any other option.
Right.
What do you think the Mavericks got to do?
They were letting Luka go off and just holding everybody else, which and to be fair, I would take Luka over both Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, to be honest with you. But against a guy with that much talent and that much ability and that much court vision, you have to kind of – it's like LeBron or just, LeBron in his prime, or Steph Curry, or any of these greats that we've seen over the years. Yeah. You just let them get theirs and you limit everybody else. Yeah. And that's, obviously that was the Celtic strategy in Game 1. We'll see how it goes tonight. But I think the Mavs, they have to have more production out of the role players. Yeah. That's the biggest difference between the Mavericks and the Celtics right now is the depth. The Celtics have so much more depth. I mean, they just have a better overall roster, to be honest, and it's something that they've been building for, 8 years, 7, 8 years now. So I mean, I'd like to see the Mavs make it a series, but from every indication that I saw in Game 1, the Celtics are just far and away the better team right now.
Yeah, I guess this would kind of like ease the narrative too about the path to the finals. You know how like media basically played into like, oh, the Celtics had it easy, and
but let's be honest though, the Celtics did have it pretty fucking easy.
They did.
They did. Every team they played had a important player that was out. You know, so I think that's a fair. I think that's a fair assessment, but you know, they look like gangbusters right now. Yeah. So.
Well, Dallas is leading 13-6 in the first quarter. 7 minutes left of the first quarter, and Jason Tatum driving or moving some offense here.
They did say Jason Kidd is the GOAT of losing game ones. Like he will lose game 1, and then the rest of the series, it's like, you know, if you've watched this entire playoffs, like the Mavs, they've lost almost every game 1 they've played. Yeah. And they come back and figure it out. So I mean that goes to good coaching. I think Joe Mazzulla is a good coach too. Yeah. He's got way more talent. I think Jason Kidd is probably the better coach, but they're both good coaches. Yeah. And Joe Mazzulla's only 36. You know, that's what's crazy.
He's a young cat. You still taking Celtics in? Well, I can't remember what he said. 6. I think he said 6.
Yeah, I'm still going with the C's. I mean, I would like to see Dallas win, just because I'm rooting for the underdog, you know. Yeah. But I think the Celtics. Either way, I mean, if the Celtics win, it's been a long time coming. Anyway, they've been at the top of the Eastern Conference for several years now, and I think it'd be well deserved if they are able to pull it off this year.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I was thinking the same thing. In other basketball news, as this game progresses, there's not too much to talk about until we get deeper into this game. I guess the biggest news that would be, you know, NBA or basketball related would be the news that there's conversations or an inkling that Dan Hurley is being reached out to by the Los Angeles Lakers, and probably not even only the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm sure that's just the headline push, but I know you said prior to this, it'd be stupid. He's got it made at UConn, and I feel like I'm in the same boat. I feel like he's got it made at UConn. He might as well just stay there. Is there any reason he should go to the NBA?
I mean, not in my mind. In my opinion, he's got a cushy job there in UConn. He's bought himself, with these back-to-back championships, he's bought himself a long length of rope, where they can be bad for 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 years, and still he's going to have job security. If you go to the NBA, you could if you don't perform, you could be out within a year, 2 years. No matter what the contract says, they're gonna. I mean, obviously he's gonna get his money, but like I said, he's the type of guy that doesn't really. He's made his money, and he's a basketball purist. Like, he just loves the game. Yeah. And so I just feel like it would be kind of foolish for him to win to back-to-back championships and then go to a situation where, it's not as secure. The money will be there, sure, but you're going to be under even more scrutiny. You're going to be coaching LeBron, which is known as the coach killer, And so, they said he's supposed to make his decision by tomorrow. And I fully expect him to go back to UConn just because I feel like it's a better fit for his personality.
Yeah.
He's in a better situation, like I said, more job security there. And, I mean, who doesn't want to try for a three-peat,
Exactly. If you're not going to leave the University of Connecticut for the University of Kentucky, why in the fuck would you leave for the Los Angeles Lakers job? You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
That I would like. I feel like the K job is like the.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. The Lakers job for any other coach, for if they offered Calipari, I'd say fucking go. But right now, Dan Hurley's situation, there's no reason to leave that.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that 100%. I don't think, and I'm not saying like he can't do the job. I'm saying that his coaching style is more apt for the college game, like these young,
right,
like turning them into men. You know what I'm saying? Prepping them for the NBA. I think his style of coaching is more of like a father figure, a leader, like step in and turn these boys into men. And I think it works out, especially at UConn.
I mean, he's hard-nosed, high intensity, and a lot of these NBA guys nowadays, they don't respond to that. You kind of have to massage their egos and play the play the manager role more. You have to manage these egos and these relationships more than in college, where you can just be like, look, here's the deal. Either you get with the program or you're out,
My speakers or my headphones decided they want to cut out.
Can you hear me? No? Well, anyway, Celtics are coming back. Jaylen Brown just had a nasty two-hand slam. Tell you what, freaking Porzingis, he played his ass off the other night. I think he's one of the biggest surprises of the finals, is because he hadn't been healthy in 10 games or whatever, and he comes out game one and absolutely destroys. I'd like to see it go 6. It'd be cool, I don't want to see a freaking sweep in the finals.
There we
go. Get it back?
Yeah, we're all good.
All right, cool. Something I was saying about the finals, Porzingis has been a pleasant surprise.
No, I agree. I mean, and that's another headline that I didn't even think about too, was Porzingis this is like, the team that drafted, or the team that gave him good run. He was with the Mavericks for a little bit. He got drafted by the Knicks, but he was with the Mavericks for a little bit. So this is kind of like, also the same kind of scenario opposite Kyrie, where he was with Boston for a little bit. Porzingis gave a run with the Mavs for a little while.
I mean, I think Porzingis, it was Porzingis and Kyrie, like that was the trade, wasn't it? Or did Kyrie go in the free agency? I can't remember.
I think Kyrie went in free agency. I think Porzingis was free agency, wasn't he?
I thought he was part of a trade. I could be wrong.
Might have been. I don't know. I'm not positive on that. I'm not well tuned to NBA free agency unless it's the huge names. But I mean, he's doing his thing right now, and it's one of the guys too that like I feel like gets forgotten about. Dude was high draft pick, and people were giving him hell, but he had good run with the Knicks. And
his problem is his health. He can't stay healthy for.
He's so damn big, bro.
That's what I'm saying. That's a lot of these big men. Their problem in the NBA is they just can't stay healthy,
Yeah. When he plays, though, dude, I mean, the other day, 21 minutes, 20 points. Like, that's what they are needing. And I guess you could say, like, as easy as the Celtics had it, like, they were missing one of their best players, as in, everybody else was. And you got to think, dude, Drew Holiday, Kristaps, both JBs. I mean, they got Derek White. They got a fucking good squad.
They got a fucking squad, man.
A squad.
Like I said, that roster is very well constructed. They don't really have a weakness per se.
Yeah. They got rim protection. I mean, and they're giving the Mavs hell right now. Every chance they get, they're playing it tough. They don't care because they got somebody on the bench that'll come in and fill a spot.
Right.
But that starting five is gross.
And I mean, and that helps your superstars out so much because they can play freely and not have to worry about, if I get into foul trouble or if I, am having a bad night from the floor shooting wise. it kind of relieves pressure because they know somebody's going to be in there to step up and help them out.
Yeah.
Like Luka, I mean, it feels like he has to do it all,
Yeah.
And I know he's got Kyrie, but outside of Kyrie, they don't have another scorer.
Yeah.
It's Luka, Kyrie, and
PJ Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, and he wasn't, anything huge until these playoff performances. And people forget too. I think people sleep on Drew Holiday is one of them. Like, he's a dog.
He's a dog, man.
A dog, bro.
He's like one of the most well-rounded players in the league.
Yeah.
He can guard the perimeter. He can score. He can pass. He doesn't get in foul trouble a lot. He's smart. He's got the awareness. He's got the experience. He's been on several teams now. Yeah. So, yeah,
when he was with the 76ers, I used to play with the 76ers. What was it? Like 2K12 maybe?
Yeah.
And nobody knew who Drew Holiday was, but dog. Crazy he's been in the league that long. You think about some of these guys and you forget how long they've actually been a part of the league here. I don't you watch these games and you're like, I don't know a lot of these players on the Mavs, but I hope they make it a series. I hope they make it.
I would like to at least see it go 6.
Yeah, at least 6. I think there's going to be a game or two where Luka goes off for damn near 50 points and they get it. They get a couple, and then Kyrie's going to have a game. I'll say they get 2 or 3 at least. I think it's going to be good. But that is pretty much anything and everything. Updates, obviously. It is 15-14. Dallas leads 4 minutes left. I do want to do this because the All-Star break is coming up. And I know you've already jokingly put all the Mets in there. But I think Pete Alonso's actually got a good little resume here. I mean, he's hitting 240. But
what scares me about that, and not to cut you off or anything, but I feel like the way that the Mets are trending, he's not going to be a Met for very much longer.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, his trade value is way up right now.
Yeah.
We're not a winning club right now. I mean, you know how baseball is when you got a superstar like that. Well, when you got an all-star like that, and you're not going to be competing for a World Series or anything. It's like, offload your talent and reload with prospects, Yeah. And right now, he's our most valuable player.
You know who I think he would be like the perfect fit for?
Don't say the Reds.
No. I'm good on Pete. I like Pete Alonso, but I think he'd be like the perfect like Milwaukee Brewer.
Yeah, that's I can see that.
Reds, like I could see him like he's blue collar type, or even like. And I mean, unfortunately, the Braves have a guy, Matt Olson, but I
was going to say the Rockies.
The Rockies would be a good one too, but they're the same kind of like situation as
the
Mets. I would see, or even like the Cubs. As much as I hate to say it, like I could see him being a Cubby.
Yeah,
him and Bellinger. But I did want to, take some time. Put together an all-star ballot. I feel like everybody, who at least enjoys baseball should put together a ballot because we all get a vote as to who is deserving. And a lot of the times it falls on popularity contests, in which for some folks, I mean, it's cool and all, but it's also cool to see the breakdown of a lot of these players. And it's kind of cool how this is broken down. I know you said you didn't know too much about like stats and all that, but it's like broken down. You pick your first baseman, then it'll go to second baseman, yada, yada, yada. But it's got the stats, average, home run, RBI. And Pete Alonso, 240, 14 home runs, 32 RBIs. Not bad at all.
He's the first choice on the first baseman, National League.
Bryce Harper's hitting 277, 15 home runs, and 45 RBIs. If I had a vote, it'd probably be it'd be Bryce Harper then Pete Alonso, because Harper's hitting 280 with 1 more home run and 13 more RBIs, 920 OPS, a little bit higher doubles and singles rate. But Pete Alonso is a fair vote. Fair vote. On the American League side, Vlad Guerrero hitting 290, 7 home runs, 30 RBIs. That's not bad.
Can you put Josh Naylor in there?
I did put Josh Naylor because he had 16 home runs and 47 RBIs. I think at first base, though, like, you know, obviously you're a power position on the field, so we need runs batted in. I had Josh Naylor because he has damn near 50 RBIs already at the All-Star break, which is, you know, insane. 47 RBIs, 16 home runs. Vinny Pasquantino of the Kansas City Royals has 43 RBIs with only 7 dongs, which, you know, that's getting guys on. I would say Josh Naylor, then Vinny. We only get one vote. I'd say Josh Naylor.
All right. First base, I got Pete Alonso, National League. Josh Naylor, American League.
Respect. All right, and then next thing that pops up is second base. So I opened this up when I did second base, and I was like, oh, damn, Altuve having another good season, 297, 10 home runs. But I think I ended up going, when you scroll down, I think I did Marcus Semien because he's got
37 RBIs, 11 home runs, 261.
Yeah. 802 OPS for Altuve, just a little higher.
Yeah, but fuck Altuve. He plays for the damn cheating ass.
I know.
Fucking
Look, I'll
Houston.
give the Astros this inch of grace right here. This inch of grace. They gave Trevor Bauer an opportunity to throw a bullpen for them, so I think that, in a sense, this is kind of like, you know, think of Trevor Bauer like a stray dog. He's been left out in the street, and if anything, the Astros kind of said, all right, you can sleep on the porch tonight.
We'll throw you a bone.
We'll throw you a bone. And that's, hey, at some point when you start feeding the dog outside, that dog ends up its way in the house.
And the thing about it is you know that man is going to be more motivated than anybody to restart his career, you know, and fuck, he's still got good shit. I mean, he still pitches every day. Yeah. Not every day, but he on a regular basis, you know, he stays in shape. He's a baseball fanatic.
Yeah. He's pitching in that Mexico league, and I mean, he's dicing. He's
just pumping. He's straight pumping it down there.
He's got like 140 strikeouts in 70 innings. Like, that's ignorant, dude. Ignorant.
Yeah, I listened to. He was on what's it called? This past weekend with Theo Vaughn.
Yep.
He was on there, and he's actually like very like cerebral guy.
Yeah.
He said he's never been drunk. He's never done drugs. It's like all he knows is baseball. And, you know, that's what you want. You want somebody who's dedicated to the craft. That's why it's a tragedy right now that he doesn't have a job. Like, it's crazy to me.
He makes these videos and posts them. Obviously, he has his YouTube channel. But he makes these videos of, like, breakdowns of, you know, in-game, which is, I think it's kind of cool in Mexico. They let him, you know, kind of do his thing. But they got him mic'd up, and he's, like, doing – like live breakdowns of pitch sequences. He's like, so, you know, this guy, I know I faced him in the league a couple times, and he really struggles with the fastball inside. So he runs his sinker inside on him. He's like, all right, so I tell he's kind of looking for that fastball. I'm gonna break this ball, you know, this slider in on his back foot and see if I can, you know, kind of catch him out front.
Right.
He's like, oh, and it's like you said, he's real cerebral about everything, and that's like, for everything that is going on in the world, it's like, if anything, just let our athletes be athletes unless they fucking kill somebody.
Well, and it's like, damn, they've already said that he was falsely accused. The charges were dropped. Now that, you know, chick is about to get in trouble for all the shit that, you know, she put him through. And it's like, but you got Rashee Rice that got arrested, could have killed somebody. It has another assault charge, you know, later on in that month, the same month, basically. And yet he's at fucking Kansas City Chiefs practice facility right now. You know, it's like, what are we doing right now, dude?
That's absolutely crazy to me. And it's like, I'm not against whatever the hell's going on, but I'm against whatever the hell's going on with the MLB and Blacklist and Trevor Bauer. And I think it plays deeper to the fact that he's vocal.
Yeah, they don't like that. They don't like the MLB. That is one of the reasons why, you know, the popularity has gone so far down is because they are so like insulated and stuck in the past. Like they want to keep like, and I get it. You know, baseball is one of those sports where you have to really love it to get into it. It's not like basketball or football where you can just watch and enjoy. Like you actually have to know something about baseball.
Yeah.
But man, I mean, they gotta loosen up a little bit, you know.
Yeah. I seen a tweet the other day. It was like, man, baseball fans, you find a baseball fan, you better marry that son of a bitch because
he's dedicated.
He's dedicated because it'll be, you know, game 81 of 162, and they'll be like, well, so-and-so needs to be DFA'd, and you've come to find out that he's like the third string right fielder from the AAA team. And you're like, how the fuck does he know this guy? It's like he's willing to go through some shit to get to the gold. You know what I'm saying? But if you're a baseball fan, that's what it is. Oh my god! I took Ketel Marte as the second baseman. 281, 13 home runs, 35 RBIs, which is sad news that the Diamondbacks are off to a terrible start to the season. I don't think they're not going to be the miracle.
Yeah, I think last year was kind of like I don't want to say a fluke, but it was kind of like a one-off deal where it's like Arizona just got hot at the right moment and was able to make it all the way.
Yeah. The Phillies, man, if you haven't watched the Phillies, they're putting it all together, dude.
Well, I was rooting for the Phillies last year in the playoffs, and
I feel like
they weren't able to pull it off, you know.
I'm like a second string Phillies fan, but it is what it is. I'd say third base, American League side, kind of a toss-up. Isaac Paredes of Tampa Bay, 288, 10 home runs, 37 RBIs isn't bad. But Jose Ramirez, 275, 18 home runs, and 62 RBIs. 62.
Yeah, that's fucking insane.
That's insane. And then on the National League side, Alex Bohm, he's only got 6 home runs, but he's driven in 51 RBIs. Like, that's huge out of your third base position. I'd say the only person that's, you know, semi-close, it's hard on the National League side. It's Bohm, and then
I went Arenado.
Yeah, Arenado, I mean, he's regressing. I'm never going to vote for a Cardinal. There's my bias.
Well, they don't, but also, I mean, you got to think about these guys defensively as well.
Yeah.
They don't put any of the defensive stats on there.
Yeah. Arenado is one of the greatest. When he went to St. Louis, my heart shattered into about a million little pieces because I loved Nolan Arenado so damn much. I was like, I'm really going to – it's like when Ezekiel Elliott went to the Cowboys, and I was like –
damn.
It's like this person you have true affinity for, and it's you son of a bitch. I'm going to have to hate you. There's a fine line between love and hate, ladies and gentlemen. It's like you can love somebody so much you hate them. You can hate somebody so much.
Right, or I was going to say, it goes the opposite as well. You can hate somebody so much that you love them.
Yeah. Prime. So I welcome all haters because I know that you guys love us. Shortstop, American League side.
Point Gunnar Henderson.
Gunnar Henderson, dude. 20 home runs already, and we're not even in July yet. So he could, I mean, thinking about it, he could be 25, 26, 30 home runs by the time the All-Star break comes around. On pace probably for 55-plus home runs. Have a season, young man. Have a season. And then, so this one, I really wanted to use my bias here on Ellie De La Cruz. I know he's hitting 235, and I'm going to make my argument here. But he's the only player in the league with 10-plus home runs and 30-plus stolen bases. So he's on pace probably for 25, almost 30 home runs and 70 stolen bases at this rate. So, I mean, you have that type of season, you're MVP caliber. I mean, that's what.
Yeah, I'm going with Lindor. Going with the homie.
I respect it.
That was my bias. Alonso and Lindor. Those are really the only two that even halfway I feel like deserve to be considered to be
there will
All-Star.
be. So the thing about the MLB, well, I think this is all major sports now, is like one player has to represent from each team at minimum. So I mean, it's somewhere. I wouldn't be shocked if it is Lindor or Pete. I'm sure Pete will get in because he's obviously like one of the fan favorites across Major League Baseball. So I wouldn't be shocked if they put Pete back in the home run derby again. He'll do it every fucking year, I think.
Oh yeah, he loves it.
Which I like watching Pete in the home run derby. Dude puts on a show every time, respectively. I think Gunnar Henderson will be in, which I think that should be something too. Is like, give us the opportunity to vote for who goes into the home run derby.
Right.
We want to see the dogs up in here, dude. I want to see Gunnar Henderson.
I don't want to see Mookie Betts in the fucking home run derby again. Like, hell no. That was awful.
I'm not watching. Give me Shohei Ohtani. Give me Gunnar Henderson. Give me Jose Ramirez.
Vlad Guerrero.
Give me Vlad. Give me Pete. Give me Bryce Harper. I'm probably missing a big one that somebody out there's like screaming like put whatever in. I don't fucking know. But catcher is, if you don't know baseball, catcher, shortstop, center field, primarily defensive position. So I'm not like dragging these guys too much on average, but Salvador Perez hitting .299, 10 home runs, 42 RBIs probably catches my eyes the most. American League side, that or Adley Rutschman, who he was a rookie last year and did the home run derby. 306 average, 13 home runs, 49 RBIs. I think they'll both get a nod, but I would take Adley here.
Yeah, I'm going to take Rutschman on the American League side, and then on National League, I'm looking at Will Smith.
Will Smith's a good one.
299 home runs, 38 RBIs, 855 OPS. I mean,
yeah, no, that's a good one. I like William Contreras, 309 average, 8 home runs, 46 RBIs, 851.
Yeah, that's true.
Will Smith, yeah. I mean, both of those are very deserving nods. I'm hoping Tyler Stevenson, he didn't start the season at catcher, so he's kind of playing catch up with everybody else, but dude has been like our lock this last, I mean, I think we're 8-2 in our last 10 games, which we're coming on strong. The Reds are finally picking up some fucking pace, but I'd take William Contreras. The Brewers are running away with the Central right now.
Yeah, it's not even close.
We're fighting for wild card, which I think it'll be tight. But now the way the All-Star breakdown works is you get to pick 3 outfielders from both sides, left, center, right, but you can pick any 3. And I scrolled down. I see Aaron Judge, who's got 297, 23 home runs, 57 RBIs. You're an automatic. You're leading the league in home runs. And then I'd say Juan Soto hitting 318, 17 home runs, 53 RBIs. You're leading the league. You're leading the American League in batting average. I think you're second place in RBIs.
Then put Mike Trout in there.
And then I would like
his stats aren't there, but
Trout has been hurt over a month now. He will not play the rest of the season. It's devastating.
Fuck. Never mind.
He is. Well, I did this when looking. I was like, man, I really would love to give. How I said earlier, it's a popularity contest. Trout deserves all the love, but he's going through the stuff right now where, like Griffey did when he was with the Reds and the last leg of his career, he's facing injury after injury, and it's just really just bad luck. And if you're not a baseball fanatic, Mike Trout is one of one, like first ballot Hall of Fame. I mean, he's already.
It's really sad what's happening to him. He's wasted his whole career in a dog shit franchise organization that has never tried to put a team around him. You know,
it's so sad.
I
love Mike Trout.
And they had Shohei, and then they end up fucking, fumbling
Just letting
that.
him walk. Just letting him walk for nothing, dude. You could have traded him for the biggest package of all time. I could go in on the Angels being they should be banned from Major League Baseball.
They're one of the worst. They're like the Washington Commanders of the MLB.
Just letting people die out here. In Mike Trout's place, I would put Kyle Tucker, who's got 19 home runs.
Yeah, that's who I'll put.
That's who I would put.
Judge, Soto, and Kyle Tucker.
Yep, that's who I would put. Now, National League side, it's a little bit closer. I like Yelich hitting 324, 6 home runs. I like to see, I've always been a Yelich guy ever since he was with Miami. It's good to see him kind of putting things back together after he struggled for, short. After his MVP season, he really just kind of fell off the face of the earth. Jurickson Profar catches my eyes, 325, 10 home runs, 43 RBIs. That's a good one. And then it's kind of a toss-up, and it's like, who do you favor? Marte's not bad. I've always liked Starling Marte. Teoscar Hernandez, 15 home runs, 47 RBIs.
Fernando Tatis
having a good season.
I'm gonna go with Marte just because.
Yeah, I respect that.
He's my Mets guy. Harrison Bader is on there too, though.
Bader is. I put Steer being one of, the Reds' front runner, like RBIs wise. But I think in this scenario, I've kind of got to steer away from my personal bias. I'd love to see him come on a little bit stronger. Brian Reynolds carrying Pittsburgh is a good one. 262, 8 home runs, 35 RBIs. I could look at these. I'm such a stat nerd. I could look at this shit all day. Let me go. Where is Tatis? I respect Tatis. Good to see Tatis back doing his thing. I like Bader. I can't find Tatis for the life of me. Fernando Tatis, 281, 12 home runs, which is good. And then designated hitter. So, like, you see Jordan, 292, 13 home runs, 33 RBIs. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'd love to take Jordan here. But everybody forgets.
Oh, no, Giancarlo.
Where the hell did they put?
15 home runs, 36 RBIs, 227 average.
They took Ohtani off here.
No, he's on the National League.
Oh, I'm stupid. Jordan, I think I did. And then Giancarlo, he's hitting 227.
We got way too many Yankees on this motherfucker, though. I will say that.
Yeah.
I hate the Yankees. I'm going to go with Jordan.
Yeah, I respect Jordan. There was somebody else, too, that I liked. Oh, Brent Rooker. That's who it was. That's who I took. Because he's playing out there in Oakland. We're a dying franchise. And he's got 270, 13 home runs, and 40 RBIs. He's out there dying in Oakland. He'll be traded away at the deadline. But if they're going to send somebody in Oakland, I'm hoping it's
they need to send him. Yeah,
they got to send somebody out there.
And then he's the only one on the ballot that I remember seeing from Athletics.
He was the only one from the Athletics. Worthy. They list all the. I thought they list all the starting players on both sides, but Rooker's the only one at least deserving of a nod. He'll be there. I think he'll be the one person they send. Now, obviously, on the DH side, National League, they're gonna send Shohei. Shohei's gonna be there. 310, 15 home runs, 41 RBIs. That's huge. But Marcell Ozuna is actually having a better season. 312, 18 home runs, and 55 RBIs. I'd give Ozuna the nod, bro. Because they're gonna send Ohtani.
Yeah, regardless, just because of name recognition.
Regardless. So we got our sheet done, our All-Star ballot. Took a little time. Josh Naylor, Marcus Simeon, Jose Ramirez, Gunnar Henderson, Aaron Judge, Juan Soto, Kyle Tucker, Adley Rushman, Brent Rooker, American League for me, Bryce Harper, Ketel Marte, Alex Bohm, Ellie De La Cruz, Jurickson Profar, Fernando Tatis, Christian Yelich, William Contreras, and Marcel Ozuna on the National League side for me.
My American side is identical to yours. My National League got Pete Alonso at first, Jeff McNeil second, Nolan Arenado third, Francisco Lindor shortstop, Starling Marte outfield, Jackson Profar outfield, Christian Yelich outfield, William Contreras catcher, and Shohei Ohtani designated hitter. I know I did go a little bit heavy on the Mets, but that's just because, that's my team.
Have to.
I got to rock with them. I mean, there's not much else I, can do.
You have to. You have to respect it. I respect it. I know Ellie De La Cruz isn't going to be everybody's first vote, but I watch the Reds play a lot, and he is most of the time our saving grace.
He's going to be an all-star for 10 years.
Yep, respectively. I mean, if you're stealing 30 bases at the All-Star break and have 10 home runs and playing shortstop, you're an all-star. I did want to, after this, I wanted to kind of jump into, this was just like random off the top of my head the other day, but who are the biggest guys, like the biggest names we thought were going to be great? And I know people were like, well, who are the biggest bust of all time, right? That's what you're going to say. Everybody knows the biggest bust. I'm thinking like, who did you really think was going to be a guy? And they just didn't pan out. They didn't have to be Jamarcus Russell. Like, who did you think was going to be a dude and just wasn't?
I don't know. It's a tough one. I feel like there's several in MMA that you could say.
Yeah.
You thought like damn, you watched him fight and he had a good fight and you're like, he's going to be really good. And then he just never panned out. I don't know, man. It's a tough one.
I'm looking here. And it's like, who, you try to even type that into a computer and they're like the biggest bust of all time. It's like, I'm not trying to like find bust. Like Vince Young, take Vince Young, for example. You know what I'm saying? Thought Vince Young was going to be a guy. Would you call it? I guess you could call that a bust, but like I thought
he had a decent career. I mean, he wasn't, the Heisman winner of like when he was in college and, took down USC, but he had a decent career.
Yeah. Or like Maurice Claret, Ohio State.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Let me see. They got Sean Livingston on here.
He had the back end of his career was really good.
Yeah.
And he got with the Warriors.
Yeah. They put Kwame Brown, Jamarcus Russell, Matt Bush. Matt Bush was supposed to be the guy for the Padres.
Kwame Brown,
Ryan Leaf,
Emeka Okafor.
Yeah, Greg Oden. Man,
yeah, I mean Johnny Manziel.
Johnny Manziel's a fucking good one.
Trying to think of more baseball guys. I can't.
The thing with baseball is, though, they get drafted and they're big names, and then you never see them because they never make it to the league. But like football and basketball, guys will touch. Like Anthony Bennett is going to touch the floor. That
might go down as the worst pick of all time ever. Like, what the fuck was that? I don't even remember him playing in the league. Like, I remember when he got drafted, he went number 1 overall to Cleveland, and he was out of the league within 5 years. It seemed
Somebody said Brian Bosworth, Tim Couch.
Yeah.
Ryan Leaf's a good one. Everybody talks about that one, though. Manziel's on here. David Carr. I think he was a big name coming out.
A lot of the success though for the football guys depends on the team you have around you as well. I mean, it's hard to like not saying Mike Trout's obviously not a bust, but he's never going to win anything in his career because he doesn't have a team around him. He can put up the greatest stats ever, but if he doesn't have a competitive ball club around him, then it's not going to matter.
Yeah, and the thing with like football and baseball is like they'll like you said, it has to have a core around it. NBA, you can be a single guy and go out there and will your team to, I mean,
40. Look at what LeBron did when he came into the league. And I know, I mean, LeBron's obviously a fucking generational, league defining talent. But that team, that Cavaliers team he came into had nobody. They were not competitive at all, and he drug that team to the Eastern Conference Finals and the Finals.
Yeah. I say guys like baseball. JD Drew, I don't know if you know that name. He was somebody. He was supposed to be like one of the best of all time. And, I mean, he did have a great career, but
also I think it's a little bit different in baseball because you can play for 15 years, and
compile. That's a good one.
Yeah, you can compile a good career over, a decade and a half. Where a lot of the times in football, you might only play for 5 years, 4 years before you're out of the league. So,
yeah, you could even say like Chris Bryant. He was on pace to be like one of the top guys, top baseball players in the world. But I mean, he did win.
He's on the All-Star ballot though. He was on the All-Star ballot this year. So.
Yeah. Mark Pryor, that's one. He was good for a couple years.
What about Steven Strasburg?
Strasburg. I mean, Strauss did win them a fucking World Series on his back, bro.
That's true.
It cost him. But I feel
like I was going to say, I feel like though he was dubbed to be like the next Roger Clemens or something, and then
Strauss had a stretch. Strauss had a stretch that was like the most dominant pitcher to ever step foot on the mound, and then. Not even after the World Series, like for 2 years before the World Series, like he couldn't get on the mound. And then early on he had the innings limit, and like he was like the Bryce Harper of pitching. Like he was the first like person as a kid I remember like being on the faces of all the magazines and stuff.
Yeah.
This is the national savior, and then a lot of yada, and it never panned out, But that's another thing for baseball too. Is like, you think back to your youth and you think of like the greatest pitchers of all time. Like that doesn't happen anymore. Like there'll never be guys like Randy Johnson and Greg Maddux, like because the way pitching is now, like arms don't last. Like you got a stretch of at most 6 years, maybe 8 years if you're lucky, because it just the way of the game is like you can't be Greg Maddux and throw 88 to 91 and succeed anymore. It doesn't work, and you have to throw 100 mile an hour.
Yeah,
which is crazy, but
I feel like also though the reason why Greg Maddux was so good is because his location. Was just literally like he could put the ball on a fucking penny anywhere in the goddamn zone, and he knew every hitter's tendencies. He knew where not to throw the ball, where to throw the ball, and I mean, kind of like that Trevor Bauer approach. It's like you got to know these guys inside and out.
Very cerebral.
And I feel like a lot. What about this? Not to switch subjects. But let me finish that thought. I feel like a lot of pitchers nowadays focus on throwing hard, not necessarily, and maximizing their break on their breaking balls instead of location and knowing the batters.
Yep. They're just throwing hard as fuck.
Yeah. And that's why everybody's got fucking Tommy John surgery in fucking college, a lot of them.
Yep.
But this Paul Skenes kid for Pittsburgh, he's nasty.
Nasty, bro. And the thing about Skenes is, too, like, he is, like, obviously he throws hard. He's got a good off-speed pitch, but he's so big that it could last. Like, a lot of these guys you see, like, take Aroldis Chapman, for example. Like, he's the reason that he's been able to last as long as he has is because he's big as shit. Like, his body can handle that kind of movement. Skenes is huge, bro. He's a big dude, and he throws cheddar. And he's not like a lot of these guys get in bad positions, and not to be like medical and scientific on people and lose them here, but the reason Tommy John happens is because of rotational force. Like, your arm is not catching up with the force your body is exerting. Like, for me, for example, is like all of my power came from my legs. So I was so strong in my legs that my arm was dragging late all the time. So, like, it was just putting all kinds of stress on my elbow.
Yeah.
But I was watching a video of Skenes, like, pregame routine before he pitches, and it is all intentional as to being on time with your arm. And, like, as long as you handle that, and which I think that's good for the sport, and hopefully a guy like him kind of breaks that, like, mold for guys. It's like, yeah, you can be big as shit and throw hard as shit, but you have to do pre-care and post-care in order to stay healthy and stay on time. Because when you start getting tired, then you fall out of timing. You put more stress on your arm, put more stress on your shoulder, and then bad things happen, obviously. But
yeah.
I think Skenes for the Pirates is going to be one of those guys. He's like Garrett Cole. Like, he's going to be one of those guys that can pick it up and power it down for the next 10 years.
Oh, yeah. And he's pumping gas, dude. Well, the video I watched, it was 100, 100, a 101, all up in the zone. Yeah. And it's like, dude, you cannot catch up to that as a hitter. Like, there's no fucking way.
If anybody's going to do it, it's going to be Ohtani. And then next at bat, he throws, another 100-mile-an-hour fastball to Ohtani. He takes deep center field. It's like, that's the one guy that's going to get you in the league is Ohtani, because he's going to, when he gets back to pitching, he's going to give you 100. He knows exactly what it is. But Skenes is going to be a guy for a long time. Pittsburgh did the right thing. The college super regionals is going on right now. 9:00 start. Kentucky just started. I haven't checked and see how that's going, but obviously Kentucky did well last night. Won the first game 10-0. They're in prime position, doing well right now. I think Evansville was losing last I checked. It was like 5-1 and third.
It's 12-1 right now. End of the fifth. End of the fifth. Tennessee's up 12-1. So
what's crazy is Evansville had game 1 too.
Yeah. Well, they kind of pissed them off the last game, coming back and putting 10 runs on them. Yep. So it's a good run for Evansville,
Yeah. Good for Evansville, because it's like a lot of people don't know about Evansville just out there. And I mean, obviously you guys do in Western Kentucky, but like that was one of the schools that I was like competing with recruiting wise for Brescia.
Yeah.
Is Evansville. And it's like, it's literally, I mean, it's kind of a shithole. Like out there.
What, Evansville? Yes, absolutely.
It's kind of a shithole. So, I mean, like, good on Evansville. I mean, this is good for their program. It's going to be now, it's going to be a stop for guys. If you can't find your way to Tennessee, it's like, hey, look, Evansville made a run to a regional. It's like, you got a chance there. So, I mean,
right.
And all this comes on the back end too. Like this opens up avenues for more money and stuff to come in and advance your program and stuff like that. And you advance your program, you advance all the other athletics around you with money and surplus and all that. But good on Evansville. Hopefully Kentucky can continue to do a good job. That would be great for UK baseball school.
It'd be awesome.
It would be so dope. I would definitely be down to visit Lex if they won the Natty. Just go down there and celebrate parade.
Oh yeah. This is the first time in my life that I can remember UK being a legit contender for the College World Series.
Yeah. College baseball is fun because it's like, and it's the same with like all other college sports. It's like there's so much heart into it. And if you don't like MLB, watch the college game because there's so much heart and energy and like every single pitch you can tell. And like these guys are just, I mean, we say guys, but these are kids, bro, out there pitching. And, trying to bring back a championship for your school. And these guys, for the most part, are probably going to be there 4 years. So, like, they're giving everything they got in every single pitch. And I think the college baseball scene is really fun. So tune into that.
it's a lot more offensive as well. Like you see higher score games.
Yeah.
Because the bats are metal, so the ball flies further and harder and all that good shit. So it's pretty entertaining to watch.
It's good shit. I think everybody should tune in and watch a couple games there. But before we close out, I think this is going to be, how part of my take has their lottery ball and Pat McAfee has their, their giveaway thing. This is our, I think this might be good for us. It'll be our thing is can you guess this player? And last episode, I got a lot of feedback from people saying that they really enjoyed that segment. And, people were commenting and being a part of it. So it felt nice. So I got 3 things pulled up here. I got the NFL tackles career leaders, the NFL rushing yards career leaders, and the NFL passing touchdown career leaders. And I'm going to pick a random name on this list. And you don't go cheating either. So I'm not going to tell y'all where they're at on the top of the list. So you can't just go look it up that easy. This is going to be we're going to start with the hard one because it is tackles. Not everybody follows defense that well. But I'm going to pick a guy with a name that we all should know. Let's go. I should have pulled the name up early. That's what I should have done. I want something that's like, I don't know who the fuck that is, you know what I'm saying? But let's do current, we'll say active player. Started his career in Buffalo the year 2012. Played there through 2016, where he got his first Pro Bowl. And 2017, he went to the New England Patriots. Played there for 4 seasons, 2 Pro Bowls. He's an All-Pro, first team, Defensive Player of the Year. One of those years, I won't give you the exact year, so you can't run away with it. Then went to Carolina for a season, then Indianapolis, and then Dallas. I feel like that's an easy one for everybody to kind of latch onto.
Where did he go to school?
He went to school, South Carolina.
And he's a linebacker?
He is...
defensive lineman?
No, he is a DB. Cornerback.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got you.
Gotcha. All right, ladies and gentlemen. That is your defensive player. We'll start there. All right, and then I'm on the all-time rushing leaders list. Maybe I should do all-time TDs next time. This is funny. 2001 started his career with the Atlanta Falcons. 2009 went to the Philadelphia Eagles. Okay. 2014 with the New York Jets. 2015, lastly, with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He rushed. Let's see here. I'm going to try and pull this up a good way. I'll cheat and tell you guys that one's a QB.
Oh, that one's... You don't know that one, then you should just stop watching football.
I was leading you down a dark path, though, because it said NFL rushing yards career leaders.
Yeah, I was thinking running back. I was like, who the fuck is he talking about?
If I didn't say QB, I felt like that one would have been.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of gives it away.
Yeah. All right.
My next question was going to be where to go to school, and that definitely would have given it away.
Yeah, if I would have said About to say
Vatek.
Y'all know that one. You better know that one. One of the GOATs. All right, let's do this one because this one's a little bit tougher. From 2010 to 2018, that was his career. 2010, he started in New Orleans. He was there for 3 seasons. 2013, he went to the New York Jets for another 3 seasons. He got a Pro Bowl nod 2015. 2016, he went to Jacksonville for 2 seasons, and in 2018, ended his career in Buffalo. His Pro Bowl season, he rushed for 1,000 yards, his career best. This one's actually a tough one. And in that season, scored 7 touchdowns. His career high. Career high.
And he started where? New Orleans?
New Orleans, then to the New York Jets, Jacksonville, and his last season, age 30, was with Buffalo. He went to Washington State and Tiffin.
This is a tough one. I'm not. Nothing's really coming to mind right now.
It's that one is a tough one. And then I'm gonna give you guys this one. This will be the last one I've got for you. Your quarterback. He went to Washington, drafted by the Green Bay Packers in the 5th round, the 1993 NFL draft. He started in Green Bay. He was only there for 1 season. He did not start any games. 1995, he ended up in Jacksonville. He was there for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years. Then went to Washington for 1, 2, 3 years. New Orleans for 2 years, and then last 2 years ended up in the New York Jets. His last season was 2011. He had 3 Pro Bowl appearances with Jacksonville. He was an All-Pro in 2005 with Washington and Comeback Player of the Year, 3rd place in 2006.
I'm pretty sure I know this one. I mean, I'm actually like 90% sure I know this one.
I feel like if you're in sports media, you know who this is. Like into sports media, you know who this is. But there's your hint right there. I won't give any more hints. I think those are good things for us to end on. People enjoy those, so we'll run with that one. I'll message you if you get them right. And if you guess them, you want to guess them, want to be a part of it, or if you've got a random player you want the people to guess, send me their stats. I'll put them out there. I like doing those. They give me a little bit of a rise when I'm like, damn, I didn't know all this. I didn't know, who was a Pro Bowler. It's like, but maybe I'll dive into because I don't know NBA like that. I feel like the only ones you can do it on are like football.
Yeah, there's so many more positions to talk about.
Yeah, it's hard to dive into. But is there anything else that you wanted to touch on? I know McGregor's fight's coming up. We're running a little long. I don't know what else is. The finals are going on.
Final update: Celtics 54, Mavericks 51 at halftime.
A better game than last game. Josh Hart in the booth. I don't got much else to touch on. I think that's pretty much everything going on in the world right now. NCAA football is coming out. It's almost here. I think that'll be a fun. I've seen that they're online dynasty is going to be good. I've seen that they're doing that. But aside from that, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you guys. We hope that you enjoyed this episode. If you did, like, comment, share, leave us a message. Let us know what we could do better. Obviously, we'd love some feedback. Rolling. I think we're coming up on episode 100. I think season 2, episode 22, 50. However many. I think we're at like almost 90 now. So we're coming up on 100. I'll have to do something to celebrate. But we're rolling along. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. If you need anything, let us know. Tell somebody you love somebody. Peace.